So I'm always getting asked what are the most important supplements for a prep, or even if you're not prepping, what are the most important supplements when you're in a caloric deficit and you're trying to lose some body fat. So what I thought I'd do is take you guys through what I consider to be the 5 most important categories of supplements when you're in a prep or when you're trying to lose some body fat. And then within those categories, go through my top picks, my most important, what I personally use and recommend. So I'm going to start with the first category, and that's going to be general health. And there's 3 supplements within this category that I think are the most important. The first one is a good fish oil. Full Mega from First Form is my personal preference. I've also used Core Omega in the past. You want to get a good fish oil that's going to provide you with essential fatty acids, which are very important for brain health, they're important for heart health, they're important for joint and ligament health, especially when you're in a caloric deficit. Getting those EFAs is super important. So fish oil. Second is going to be a good superfood supplement. I personally use First Form Opti Greens 50. Core Greens is a great alternative. Switch Nutrition, the Australian supplement company, make Vitality Switch, which is a great superfood supplement. Force Element, man, there's so many good ones on the market. And I'm a big fan of a good superfood supplement because you're going to get greens in there first and foremost, which is going to provide a lot of micronutrients. If you've got a Reds blend in there, you're going to get phytonutrients, antioxidants. Hopefully you're going to get digestive support. You will from Opti Greens 50, absolutely. Some glycemic support in there as well. Probiotics, prebiotics, just a really comprehensive general health supplement that's going to make sure you're getting the most out of the food that you are consuming. And then finally, under general health, it's got to be a good multivitamin. So Herbs of Gold Men's Multi is a great choice. First Form also make M Factor for men and then M Factor for women. Core Multi is a great choice as well. Just to cover all bases, full spectrum multivitamin. It's going to make sure that you're getting a whole bunch of vitamins and minerals that perhaps, especially as you get further and further in a prep or in a deficit and the food volume just isn't there, the food quantity isn't there. It's going to make sure that you're getting full spectrum vitamins and minerals to help keep you healthy and help prevent you getting sick while you're prepping for a show. All right, the second category of supplements that I think is most important is obviously going to be supplements that support fat loss. Now there's 3 supplements in this category as well. The first one is going to be a good stimulant-free fat metabolizer. Creation Supplements Alka-Pure is my personal pick. Obviously there's more comprehensive stim-free fat burners available as well. Core Shred is a great example. First Form L-carnitine is a great example. But keeping it simple, Alka-Pure, pure acetyl L-carnitine. And what that's going to do is it's actually going to help transport fat from fat cells into mitochondria, where that fat can be used as a source of energy. So a good stimulant-free fat metabolizer is a must. Of course then, a good complete fat burner. So Core Burn PR, one of my personal favorites. Ghost Burn V2 is another great option. There's a whole range of super complete, super comprehensive fat burners. And this is going to do everything that's going to support fat loss. Not only fat metabolism, increasing energy output, encouraging thermogenesis. Some of these products as well will have ingredients in there that help support blood sugar control, help support hormone control as well. Really depends on which fat burner you're looking at, but a good comprehensive stimulant-based fat burner sits in the fat loss category of supplements, of course. And then finally, I'm going to put hormone support in here as well. My personal favorite, Core Hard Extreme. This is going to do 2 things. Primarily, it's going to support estrogen and it's going to support cortisol control as well. So it's going to help keep estrogen nice and low. It's going to help keep cortisol nice and stable. So you're really creating the ideal hormonal environment to allow your body to shed that body fat, to get rid of that excess body fat. So a good hormone support supplement, Hard Extreme, is my pick. All right, the third category is going to be muscle preservation. Obviously, when we're in a caloric deficit, we're putting ourselves in a position where we can shed body fat, but at the same time, a side effect of being in a caloric deficit is there's a chance we're going to shed muscle tissue as well. So there's 3 supplements in the muscle preservation category that I think are super important. The first one is HMB. Creation Supplements HMB Pure is my top pick. HMB is a metabolite of leucine, which is super important for preventing the breakdown of muscle tissue as a source of energy. So HMB Pure is an absolute must. Behind HMB Pure, I'm going to put amino acids in this category as well. So my amino acids of choice at the moment, America Lab Supremos, which is a full spectrum amino, BCAAs, EAAs, and a whole bunch of other bits and pieces in there as well. I am a big advocate for branched chain amino acids during workouts. If you want to go full spectrum, of course, go full spectrum as well. The purpose of having amino acids, especially while you train, is once again to prevent that breakdown of muscle tissue, prevent you being catabolic during your workouts, allow your body to hold on to that hard-earned muscle. And then you're also going to reduce delayed onset muscle soreness, especially when you're in a caloric deficit and you're not really giving your body the nutrients it needs to recover properly. Amino acids are going to be a big part of making sure that you're being the least sore you can possibly be. And then finally, Laxo Pure. I'm a massive fan of Laxogen and creation supplements. Laxo Pure, one of the highest quality sources of Laxogen on the planet. I'm a big fan of this in the muscle preservation category, primarily because it's going to boost protein synthesis. It's going to help your body actually use the protein that you're consuming from whole food or protein powder sources. So that protein is going to help your body maintain that muscle mass. And even at the start of a prep or the start of a caloric deficit, before you get too deep in that caloric deficit, it's actually going to help you build some muscle in there as well. So Laxo Pure is the third pick in the muscle preservation category. Category number 4, of course, it's got to be performance. We're trying to get the most out of our workouts, which is also going to tie into the muscle preservation category, making sure we're maintaining the gains, holding on to that hard-earned muscle. 2 supplements in this category. First one, of course, it has to be creatine. My personal favorite type of creatine is creatine hydrochloride. Creation supplements make creatine HCl Pure, which I think is one of the best on the market. Creatine, a precursor to adenosine triphosphate, which is the fuel that your body uses during resistance exercise. You've got more adenosine triphosphate, more ATP, you can be able to get more reps, more sets, stimulate more muscle growth, and hold on to the muscle that you've spent so much of your off season trying to build. And then secondly, it's got to be a pre-workout. So I'm using primarily stim-free pre-workouts at the moment. My 2 top picks, this is one of them right here, Primabolic's Grind. The other one is Core Pump. Of course, if you're a fan of stimulant-based pre-workouts, you can go down that route as well. Arms Race Harness is probably one of the best on the market, closely followed by Mansports Game Day. Your pre-workout is going to deliver muscle pumps, muscular endurance, mental focus, muscle power, and then if you're taking a stimulant base, there's going to be some energy in there as well. Really, ingredients designed to help you get the most out of your workouts, making sure you're having no bad workouts. And then the 5th and final category, this is one to last, protein powders. And the reason why I've left this to last, guys, is I don't really consider this supplements. This is really a source of food, and if you're getting enough protein from whole food sources, you really actually don't even need a protein powder. But I personally choose to use protein during a prep. I'm a big fan of whey protein isolate, and my whey protein isolate of choice is Core Nutritionals ISO. There's a lot of really good quality isolate protein powders on the market. If you don't want to go down the dairy-based, obviously there's plant-based proteins, there's collagen-based proteins. The one thing to keep in mind is that if you are supplementing with a protein powder, it really is a source of food. So it needs to make up part of your diet. It's going to provide protein as part of your diet, so it needs to be incorporated in your diet where required. I'm a big fan of whey protein isolate when I'm prepping because it's going to get me the purest protein. It's going to be very low carb, it's going to be very low fat, super easy to digest for me personally because I don't have an intolerance to dairy or a serious intolerance to lactose. So I'm a big fan of Core ISO for those reasons. But protein powder is the 5th and final category of the most important supplements when it comes to prepping or being in a caloric deficit. And there you have it, the 5 categories of supplements that I think are the most important when you're prepping for a show, when you're trying to lose body fat. Obviously, there's a lot of different options, right, guys? There's a lot of supplements that we've covered in this video, and I know that you guys will have a whole bunch of questions when it comes to specific supplements, different alternatives, why I've picked those 5 categories and why I've picked those supplements within those 5 categories. I encourage you guys to ask as many questions as you have in the comments down below here on this video on the YouTube channel. I will personally get back to each and every one of them. I want to give you guys as much specific, personalized supplement advice as I possibly can.
Can't flip it to the B-side, B-sides. That body on 10, I appreciate the design. Thanks for the remind. Been on my stretch 9.